Congress has released 33,000 pages of Epstein documents, but much of it recycles old material. That's why Reps Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna are now demanding a vote to unseal the rest, pushing for full transparency.
I have more confidence in what looks like the possibility of having Epstein's and Maxwell's. By the way, Maxwell is not a sympathetic figure. She is as involved or almost as involved in horrific sex trafficking and abuse of minors as Jeffrey Epstein. She is a monster. And the idea that she deserves to be transferred to this cushy, low security prison when she is guilty of some of the worst crimes that one could imagine. The violation of children, yes, minors. It just staggers the mind.
But come on, I don't think anybody's buying that Maxwell is a sympathetic figure.
The Republicans seem to be. Why else would they put her in this cushy? And, Trump has not denounced her.
That's not why
he wished her well.
Yeah, but I don't think your general person
No, I agree with that.
Sees her
but
as a
come on, look
figure.
what's going on with Republicans and Maxwell. It's just absolutely shameful. And it's consistent with Trump pardoning some of the worst criminals, including January 6th insurrectionists who violently attacked and injured police officers. He's supposed to be for the blue, right? Stand up for our police officers. But by God, those who in my name assault, attack, injure, in some cases seriously, police officers, they've done nothing wrong. And the language he's used to talk about Maxwell and the idea that, nothing gets done without his approval, that they rewarded her with a transfer to a cushy prison with someone convicted of the horrific crimes of which she's convicted, should have no place in such a cushy kind of environment. It's just disgusting. This is the party that's always denouncing Democrats for being what? Pedophiles, right?
And soft on crime.
And
too.
soft on crime, yeah. That's another one of, as we said, as you pulled that out in my book, another one of those phony principles that Republicans throw out but don't honor.
Apparently, Massey and Khanna, they only need 2 more Republican signatures to pass some sort of resolution that is going to unseal even more stuff.
I am skeptical that anything coming out of the Pam Bondi Justice Department is going to have Trump's name on it. I just believe that they will have sanitized the documents if they're forced to put them out.
So even if Congress was able to get them, you still wouldn't trust them entirely. Is that what you're saying?
You trust them?
No, hell no.
What basis are they ever given you to trust them?
I guess maybe I trust that Congress would be able to find stuff that I don't know. I don't know.
If they erase, they're not going to have a line through it. They'll just, not include those documents.
Right.
And how would you know? So I have a lot more faith in the idea that they're going to get victims to testify. One of the victims has already implicated Trump. Trump, of course, like with the 20 other women who've accused him of...
Who was that? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't remember her name, but I think a former model said that Trump groped her.
From the Epstein stuff?
Yes, she was, I think Epstein was... Don't hold me to this story.
Yeah,
I don't know
careful.
all the details. But yes, she did, ring the bell on Trump. And it had something to do with Epstein.
Okay.
And you saw those videos and photos of the two buddy together. It's not
right,
as if,
but that doesn't mean he did anything illegal.
I understand that. But he would like you to believe he had nothing to do with Epstein.
Well, right, he's a liar. I mean,
which is an absolute lie. Right. Plus, the Wall Street Journal came up with this birthday card, this horrible pedophilic birthday card he sent them. Plus, in 2002, after he had known him for 15 years or so, 10 to 15 years, Trump says he's a really good guy. And like me, he likes beautiful women. And he really likes them on the young side. But I know nothing,
Right.
It's like Sergeant Schultz of that old Hogan's Hero show. I know nothing. I see nothing.
Yeah, we all know at this point that Trump had a close relationship with Epstein.
And knew what was going on.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, he said that, he would poach girls from Mar-a-Lago. Again, what would you need what would Jeffrey Epstein need a 16-year-old girl for?
Exactly.
But
Trump knew all about it.
But there's still a lot of question marks beyond that. I mean, we do know those things, but...
And you know what? Here's what's the scariest thing. You really should be scared to your bones.
Oh, God.
It's not whether Trump should be involved with Epstein. It's rather, would it matter to his supporters? Would they give a damn? Right. He's already been convicted of 34 felonies. Right. He's already been found by a civil jury to have sexually assaulted, hurt, and defamed a woman. He's already been found by a judge to have committed massive financial fraud. None of that has, put a pimple in his base. This is the scary thing.
Yeah.
If he really was involved in pedophilia, would they care? The party of law and order, of personal morality and responsibility. Would they care? Take a poll.
I think it's not even a matter of would they care. Would they admit to it? I think they would just lie about it and twist it and try to do everything they could to, at least in the public eye, exonerate him.
Yes, it's all Democratic propaganda.
Yeah,
it's all, even though who was president when Epstein was arrested?
I don't
Trump.
I don't think Republicans would come out and his base would come out and say, yes, Trump is a pedophile.
No,
but we don't
not.
care. They're gonna say, yeah, maybe his name was in it, but he was just they both lived in West Palm Beach and.
Everyone knew
Epstein, and even if he was accused, it was
you misinterpret
Democratic.
Me, Sam. I didn't mean that they would come right out and say we don't care.
Right.
But I meant we don't care, and therefore we will explain it all away. Not that they're going to admit that we don't care about pedophilia.
Right. I guess it would also depend on how damning the evidence would be.
It's probably not going to be,
and that's what I'm thinking.
Damning.
Even unless he's Unless he was Prince Andrew level, which it doesn't seem like he was, it doesn't seem like.
Oh, I think, can correct me if I'm wrong, I think she also exonerated Prince Andrew.
Did she? Maxwell?
I think so. Along with exonerating, these were wonderful people, great saints, never did anything wrong. I think she exonerated Prince Andrew. I'm not positive.
I really do think this Maxwell route they took really did hurt them. I really think in the public opinion, it really did hurt them.
What's your evidence?
Good question.
Yeah, I haven't seen any evidence.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
We got some ground to cover. How many more do we have to go?
2 more.
Good. We'll try to do them quickly because we want to get to questions.
Experts are panning Trump's latest climate report, calling it misleading and a mockery of science, accusing the administration of downplaying risks to justify policy reversals.
This is the counterpart of their use of religion. In other words, they're not following religious principles and having their politics be based on religion. Rather, they distort and reinterpret religion to support their politics. Same thing here. This is not science that explains their policies. This is policies which they then use to justify their science. And this report has been shredded by the nation's leading experts in the field. You don't even need an expert to figure out the horrible things they've done. Cite to non-existent sources. Completely distort what sources are saying. Even the authors of sources have said the extent to which they have misinterpreted and distorted what I have found and what I have written, relying on the most fringe, most unreliable of sources, ignoring the overwhelming body of established peer review research. One of the most eminent scientists who reviewed this called it a mockery of science. And does this surprise you, Sam?
No.
We knew this was going to happen. You appoint a quack to head health in America, you're going to get quack science. And who pays the price for that? Every single one of us. If they are distorting and lying about climate change to shut down efforts to combat it and to make it worse by exploiting fossil fuel. Every single one of us is going to pay the price for that.
Didn't the report say that actually climate change might be beneficial?
Might be better. Yeah, I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's better to be warm than cold. You know, it's the craziest stuff. Or plants can, thrive on the CO2. Not to mention the droughts, the floods, the wildfires, the tornadoes, the derechos are killing our plant life.
And, again, Trump and his base have been, screaming about corruption and the deep state for, a decade now. The people that they brought on to write this report are like the only 5 climate denying scientists who are all, are all being paid by big oil and all these big corporations. I mean, it's the definition of deep state manipulation, and somehow Trump and his MAGA base have a stranglehold on that message.
Could not be. This is the equivalent of claiming the earth is flat. That's how bad this is. It doesn't have a shred, not a shred of credibility. We had talked about some earlier reports that suffer from the same thing, and they called it formatting errors. Look, if one of my students a freshman student had committed a report like this, what grade do you think I would have given them?
F.
And this is supposedly coming from the supreme authority in health in the United States. That's how far we have come. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care what your politics, your religion is. Science is science, and truth is truth. And this is neither science nor truth, and it has nothing to do with your political proclivities. Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a member today.